Fred here, and welcome to the Gear Obsession channel. And I am a cruffer. Want to know what a cruffer is? Hang in there and you'll find out. A couple of weeks ago I got some forms in the mail to renew my C&R Ffl, which is Federal Firearms License number 3, Type 3, which is Curio and Relics. And I filled out all the paperwork, sent it back, because you got to renew it every 3 years. And, you know, I got my new one. This is a copy. So why would you go through the trouble of having to write and send forms and money to the ATF to get this piece of paper? Well, because you could get really cool things like this safety checked, Nagant revolver, sent right to your house because you are a federal firearms license person. Except this is just for Curio and Relics. There's like a 50-page list of guns the ATF put in this category that you can order online and have sent to you depending on your local ordinance and things like that. So actually I did a video on this Nagant revolver quite a while ago. What's really cool, I'll go ahead and safety check on camera here real quick. What's really cool about the Nagant revolver is the way that the cylinder works. It actually, if you look at that, watch the cylinder move forward. After it turns, it actually pushes forward, sealing the gap. Really cool. Old revolver from the former Russia and former Soviet Union and Russia. Really, really cool revolver. Check out the rounds here. It looks like a uncircumcised round. The bullet's actually way down in there, and what happens is that gap seals, but also this part of the copper will sort of also end up in that gap, and as the bullet comes out, that brass will press and seal it even better, so it sort of, you don't lose that extra oomph out the sides and the gap. All that gas, expanded gas, pushes that bullet out of the barrel. This is also the only revolver that theoretically could be silenced because you don't have a gap. So really cool. You get things like this. Another very popular C&R type of gun is the Mosin Nagant. I know I'm saying it wrong, but Mosin Nagant, whatever. Rifle, which is 7.62 by 59. Really good rifle. Really cheap. Both of these you could get for like 90 to 100 bucks. You could get a rifle and a revolver. And then there's also all the other ones out there. But anyway, so how do you get something like this? Well, you have to fill out forms. And I'm going to provide a link below to the place on the ATF website where you can get the current forms. Always make sure you get the latest ones directly from the ATF. Don't get them from some other website that has their copies. You want to get whatever the latest one is from the ATF and download them. And they do have them online PDF. When I ordered these, I had to order these and they had to send it to me via email, or you can also call a number. But now I notice that the ATF has PDFs that you can just download, so that knocks off a good period of time for you to be able to get these forms. So you can just print them up, and when you print them up you'll get 2 sets. One set is for you to send back to the ATF with 30 bucks. Actually, you have to give them your credit card number and fill it in there. And the other one goes to your chief local enforcement officer, because you don't have to get a response back from them, but you send this to them with like a little letter just explaining this is your copy, and this gives them an opportunity to respond to the BATF if you have an issue, and they'll tell the ATF not to give you the license, but you don't need a response back from them. So you have to fill out 2 of these. You also have to fill out, this is something I didn't have to do on my original, but I had to do on my renewal that I just did. You have to fill out a certificate of compliance. Basically, you verify to yourself that you are a U.S. citizen. It's really weird, but you fill that out and send it to the ATF also. So, let me go down a couple of things. My notes here, I highlighted some items. I want to go over some stuff with you. Again, this is an FFL 03 C&R license. It's only 30 bucks. And you could get that, anything on that long list of 50. Basically, it's guns that are over 50 years old and are on the list that the ATF updates. You have to be 21 years of age. You have to be in an area that doesn't prohibit the shipping and transporting of firearms and ammunition to your house. You cannot be a convicted felon. You have to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. So those are the things that you need to be in order to get a federal firearms license. And again, I'm going to find the link below where you can get these forms. These forms is the F7CR, which is the 5310.16 form. I'll provide the link to make life easy for you. Or you could call the ATF at 703-455-7801. Tell them what form you want, and they'll send it to you. So again, they're going to send you 2 sets of forms. You go ahead and send one to the ATF with credit card information so they can take your 30 bucks, and the other one to your CLEO, which is Chief Law Enforcement Officer. Now, by signing this stuff, you are agreeing that you will follow all your local laws. You know, again, transport, and some states don't allow you to have guns or whatever. You're signing that you're going to abide by all these local laws, and that's also why you're sending a copy to the CLEO. And then once you send all that stuff in, 6 to 8 weeks, you will have your official license. Now, when you get your license, you'll notice that it says original signature of license. Don't sign it. Whatever you do, don't sign it. Trust me. They even tell you not to sign it. I'm not telling you just to sign it just for the fun of it. What you want to do is make copies of it and then sign it. Okay, so while you're making copies to sign it, well, you got to send it to the stores online that you intend to buy C&R firearms from, so they have a copy. They have to have a copy of it with your signature on it, not a copy of your signature. That's why you make copies, you sign the copies, and you send them to stores. Now, some people actually get the C&R license and they never buy a gun. Now, why would you do that? Well, places like Midway USA, Brownells, and a whole bunch of other gun stores out, or gun related stores out there, will still give you a FFL dealer pricing. They'll knock off like a quarter of the price sometimes, or even a third of the price, just because you're an FFL. You just send it to them, you sign it, and you will get a special logon with dealer licensing. So you can save a lot of money. So actually, I've only bought, with my C&R license, this one firearm. That's all I've ever bought. But I've saved hundreds of dollars, which more than pay for the $30 for the license, just by getting dealer licensing at places like Brownells and whatever. But, it's a pain in the ass to fill out the forms. I understand that. And there's kind of one other thing that is a little bit of a pain in the butt, and that is when you do buy a firearm, you have to log it in a bound book. So you gotta get yourself a bound book, and you gotta fill it out. You can find out how it's supposed to look online if you do some Googling, Google C&R, and you make a bound book and you log your firearms in it, and you have to keep that. So, because actually the ATF could audit you. They could come and say, hey, we want to see your guns in your bound book. And you're only obligated to show the guns that you bought with your C&R license, so you don't have to do it all. So anything that I'm saying here is subject to change, because this is a world where things change, the government changes and everything. But this is how it stands right now in the good old USA, and your C&R license, and how to become a cruffer. So I'm going to provide some links below to help you along if you're interested in becoming a fellow cruffer. Save money on ammunition and everything just by getting that dealer pricing by sending them a copy of your license and then sign it, or get some cool firearms sent to your house. and you don't have to get the ones with just these weird rounds. You could find like a Walther, old Walthers, was it P1s and P38s, I think are actually on the list, some of the old ones. Shoots regular 9mm. You get some really cool Soviet block country things like the Makarov or something. I don't know, I can't pronounce these things, but I know how to shoot them. You can get some really cool things. And you get some old revolvers, even some 1911s if there's the real old ones. But they're going to cost a little bit. They ain't going to be cheap because they are old. So I hope you found this interesting, and that this video is not really meant to be an instructional video. It's just meant as an eye-opener to show you that there's an opportunity here that you could save some money and you could get some cool firearms, and it really isn't that hard because I figured it out. And according to some of the comments, I'm a dumb old bald person. So thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate y'all coming back again and again. Every friend, viewer, subscriber. And have a great, great